our biggest limitation has actually been our own council member who said we will not be able to do a freeway park. So I'm wondering, what are you doing over in the Winchester WNAC such that Mr. Jones is much more supportive of this idea? Because I heard it talked about at his transportation summit, which was also a very good event. So I want to know, what do we need to do to get other city council members to be more forward thinking about that? And then my second question related to the freeway park is, since I heard the words mentioned, housing over the freeway, how do we have a freeway park but not have the city pack and stack 4,000 units into our neighborhood over the freeway?
Thank you for the questions. So I think, first off, I'm glad you mentioned the D1 Transportation Forum that was in late August, I think it was. It's online, actually, and I will put the link on the Winchester WNAC. I'll make sure it's at the top so you can see all those things. One of the presentations, spurred, and VTA was there, and it inspired kind of the video I showed, the first video, as far as creating a network, not just a single point solution, and a network that's more of a packet-based network, one that is uses vehicles that aren't on rails but are on wheels, because fundamentally that gives you a lot more flexibility. So I kind of digress there. Now the question, we've heard that same response from your council member, there's not the money. Okay, there is never the money, but as Kurt Fartan, our president, always says is, start with the vision. Have a good vision and the rest will follow. And that's what we need to do. One thing we found, I don't know how many of you guys use Nextdoor, but it seems like you can say that is an exit sign and there'll be an argument over it, right? This is one thing that people have gotten behind, and it's building momentum. And to your point though, it's the challenge of how do you take that momentum and continue to build it. And I think there's multiple angles, avenues we have to take. One, of course, being the city, the council. We have to also push VTA and the VTA's board of directors. This vision should be coming from them. I don't see it. In the 2040 plan for VTA, this is criminal to me. They did not mention autonomous cars. It doesn't make sense because there's been so much literature about it prior to that. It should have at least had a mention or a paragraph or something. It didn't. So somehow we have to get the leaders to show us that they can lead with vision like that. So we have to push all those entities. We also have to get private developers involved because, as you saw there, private money is huge to this. To your point about the question of making sure it's just not 5,000 units of housing in one spot, I think that becomes a conversation as to how do you balance it to have open space, to have density. One of the nice things is a lot of those spots, when I looked at 280, a lot of those spots, there aren't residents right at the interchanges. It depends on where you are necessarily, but it gives you a chance to put density, taking pressure off of the traditional suburban areas, right? So you have, I think there's a balance there though, to answer your question.